So guys, we got a 2014 Kia Cadenza. We're gonna change the front struts. I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. So here's the front strut right here. The customer went and got it himself. I'm gonna show you the part number. So this is what this baby look like, and there's the strut. I'm gonna put this down. So right and left is different. So the CC says you gotta go by that. So I'm gonna show you the tools that you're gonna need. Then we're gonna start the job. But let's take a look at the part numbers. This is for the driver's side. And he went and got this himself. I have no idea. The customer got this himself. So if you guys need to figure out the brand and everything, and that's the part number. And then the part number for the opposite side is right there. It's upside down, but it's right there. Let's walk through some tools. So check the condition of your control arms, because if they're bad, your whole thing's gonna fall down. So we need to remove this. We need to remove this 14mm bolt. We need to take out this 21 and a 21 and a 24mm. We have to hold the back with a wrench. 12mm and a 12mm, and this is 19mm. So tools we're gonna need a 14mm with a 3/8 dry ratchet, 19mm wrench, 19mm socket. We got a 12mm socket. You could have a drill, impact drill, or this, and we're gonna need a wire brush. That's all the tools we're gonna need for now. So what I like to do is I like to clean at least this sway bar link has got to come off. So spray this baby down, and it should come off easy. So let's begin this job just by removing a few things. So we're gonna take off our, we're gonna let that submerge for a little bit with the WD-40. But let's take out this 12mm. Let's put this to the side. This is pretty easy to come out because the car is clean. Usually these are rust busts. And there it is. The reason why you want to take off these 12mm right here is because these little guys, they're going to stretch as the whole, the spindle drops. Also, we need to take off this little guy. The reason why we're taking off this little guy of this caliper is because that bolt for the strut bolt is going to come and hit right there. So the caliper needs to move back a bit. So we got that off. And all you need to do is just that much space, and that's it. Make sure these are free, and we're gonna remove that next, and then we'll take off the 24. So what we're gonna do is, this is pretty easy, and I got lucky here. Usually these cars are rusted, so you do need to put pry bar in the back to hold this up against it, or hold this with some wrench that fits here, or a vice grip. Anyways, that's that. And now we need to take off the 24s and hold this with the wrench. Okay, so next few steps are kind of critical and tough. So what we're gonna do here is, I'm gonna get my tools ready. And take this guy off. This guy should come off right now. Take at least one off. The bottom one's gonna be a little difficult. And what we're gonna do is, we're gonna take that out. So we got both of these off. The stud in the bottom is not going to come out that easy. So what I like to do is I like to put my bolt back on. Yeah, just a couple of threads, and then tap it with the socket. If it still don't come on, off, I'll switch up my sockets. I'll take the 19mm and I'll turn it from the back end. That's what I'll do here. If that works. It's not working. So I'm gonna try to spin it with something. Okay, so this guy, the bottom bolt doesn't want to turn out. So I went and got additional tools. We got a 19mm here with the swivel. And see all that room? Should come out now. Sometimes you do need additional tools. So let's see, I'm gonna put the nut on in the back end. I just don't want to tap the threads, because if you damage the threads, good luck to you. So I'm gonna just tap on that, and there you go. The baby's out. And remember, this is gonna drop because the control arms are kind of crappy. You should always keep your car up to date. So the control arms on this is really crappy. So what we're gonna do here is, there you go. I'm gonna slowly let it come down. None of these cables should be stretching, okay? ABS sensor brake lines should not stretch. And your shirt should just come off like that. And let's release this. Load off this. Let's put the caliper in. There's no load on this. there you have it. So you might have to make sure the axle doesn't pop. So if the axle pops, you have to find the spot to put it back in. Floor jack would be a good help. So when we put it back together, I'm going to use floor jack to help me. Now we need to go up in the top. Our strut is loose, and we're going to compress this on our compressed machine. Okay, so we up under the hood of this vehicle. Let's see if this guy just pops open. There you go. So you never want to take off that bolt. You will kill yourself. Everything is freaking go bananas. So these are 14 millimeters. What I like to do is I like to loosen 1, 2, and then I like to go back on one of these, and so that will hold it for me, that little guy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to this third one here. Let's loosen up this third one, and let's move this cup over here somewhere. So just take off these. I'll use my electric little drill to do bang zoom there. Okay, it's pretty deep, so if you want to use a deep socket, that'd be a good idea. Yep, deep socket it is. That's what you need here. So for this third one here, let's loosen it up a bit. You want to put your hand in the bottom and hold it, and I usually like try to get it in the angle where the stud is stuck against the frame, so there's no load on my hands. And then I'm gonna go down here. Make sure you be careful with the. Whoa, we got a clip. You do got a one clip on ABS sensor. I forgot about that. So make sure. Oh, there's another 12 millimeter right in the back of it. Freaking disaster. So I'm gonna have to get this guy. So there's 3 12 millimeter. I didn't even see that one. And I will show you when we put this back together. I'm gonna have to manage this right now because I can't let it go. This is how you damage things. Like an idiot. There you go. So there's the third freaking bolt down here. Okay, let me just show you right now. I got the strut out. So the third one is back here. So make sure you get that guy. So that's it. Time for us to go onto the strut machine right there. So I'm gonna assemble it and then I'll show you guys. I'm sorry about the mess. So I did kind of mark this hole, the spring and everything. The strut on the top can be moved around, but when you're done, just put it back so you know exactly where it goes. So that way you don't get confused with the bolts. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna compress this guy. And I did put 2 bolts in, so keep your arms and hands away till you're gonna compress this till the load is off this strut, which is almost maybe half a more turn or 2 more turns. And the load is almost a little bit more. This is a very old strut machine I have here, but there you go. So now it is a different bolt up on the top. It's a 19 millimeter over here. So what I like to do is, remember, when you're taking these bolts off, nothing should be stressing, okay? Nothing should be moving around crazy. So here comes the bolt. I like to save this bolt. If I don't like the other one, I'll reuse this guy. So here it is. So a lot of times I do tell people, so it does have like a little notch, so it only goes one way. Change everything together, get yourself assembly, because sometimes it's your shirt mount that's making the noise. So here comes the new one right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press down on this, and I'm gonna get this little clip out of here. The strut is gonna travel up. That's what it's supposed to do. We'll take off this bolt on the top. One thing we need to get this little guy off the old one. Clean it up. Everything should match. It should be direct. Make sure you put on the correct one, okay? Because if you put the wrong one in, you're screwed pretty much. So how this goes, it's only gonna go one way. It got this little notch here, and it got a little hole there, and it got 2 little things right here. So we're gonna take this little guy. Remember, you got like a little notch here, so you're gonna have to play around with it. I felt like it came out right here. You can even look from the top and see that. And it does have like a rubber boot in the middle. So make sure that goes through. And this guy goes right through. So remember, I like to use the old bolts because they're better, look better, stronger, and there you have it. So this is bada bing, bada boom job, and make sure your strut sits where it wants to. But right now, we're gonna just tighten it. I see a lot of people putting vice grip and stuff here. You don't want to do none of that, okay? So this thing should go in nice and easy. And that's it. To release it, make sure your spring sits where it's supposed to sit. And this is where it's at, right here. And remember, this marking was straight to that mounting point in the bottom. And then you're just gonna release it. And this is good to go onto the car. So I'll meet you guys on the car next. All right, so next we got the strut assembled. So make sure it's everything nice and tight. Remember, I marked it, so I'll bring the marking back to the same spot so I know where everything goes. So as long as I hold this shock facing front this way, all the bolts should just line up. So I'm gonna just go down there, not even look down there, and watch this. Everything should just fall into place. That easy, okay? Then we're gonna go in the bottom, put everything back together. And these two bolts is gonna be the last thing I'm gonna lock up once the wheels are on and all the weight is just pushing this guy up, and then we'll double check that bolt. Anyways, let me do the other side and we'll come back and continue here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I got my floor jack here, so I'm not gonna work too hard. Make sure your axle's in there, because if it's not in there, this won't be able to move. So I don't want to stress any of the cables. So I do want my spindle. So I'm gonna do this a little bit off the camera. I'm gonna get this in. I'm gonna put the two bolts in. So you use the floor jack just like that to assist give you a little bit of assist. Okay, from here we're gonna put the two bolts, big large bolts, 24 millimeters, and I'm gonna get the socket. Okay, so I'm gonna lock up the two bolts. It's 24 and 19. Went and grabbed the wrong socket. Okay, got the correct socket. Lock this baby up completely. Same thing with the bottom bolt. Make sure your lines doesn't get pinched because they're still loose, and that would be a disaster. Bada bing, bada boom, double check. And that's it. You're gonna put the three 12 millimeters, and then you're gonna put this 19 millimeter right here. So let's start with the 12 millimeters. There's one in the back that I took off that I forgot to take off earlier. Then I had to do it while we was holding a loose strut. There you go. I'm gonna lock these two up. Make sure you always hold these lines as you turn it, because sometimes the whole thing can spin and damage your ABS sensor cable. Okay, so the back one, I'm gonna have to put a wrench on, or ratchet. So I'm gonna get this one in first, and then I'll get the wrench. I'll do that so you don't need to see that, but what you do need to see is make sure you lock this guy up. So it's gonna get tough with the one strut on the other side on. So if you push down on the sway bar, this would grab the angle, and we're gonna lock this baby up. That's it. Do not forget the 14 millimeter for your caliper. I'm gonna have to go get a wrench for that too. So when I got a ratchet, so make sure you lock this bolt up. And then once you put the car down, we'll tighten the top bolts. So we do got one bolt in the back. We got one bolt in the back here. There you go. Make sure everything is nice and tight. Put your wheel on, lock up the wheels, put the car down, and you're gonna lock up the top bolts together. So that's it for now. Alright, so once the wheel's on the ground like that, all the weights is here. That's when you want to tighten these. And that's it. Same thing on the other side. Check all 3 here, 3 on the other side, and you're all done. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. And don't forget to watch how to do the rear shocks on this baby. That's going to be the next video. Thank you for watching.